there was a great comedic relief that happened that, I mean, I'll remember this till the day I die. Hey guys, I know it's been a while. We have had, as you guys know, of course, a lot going on with the move. I think we didn't realize how much went into the move, but we're kind of moved in. Still not yet.
We are moved to Nashville. We are not moved into our place.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of moving parts. We had some big events.
We had Messenger Cup.
Had a birthday, my birthday.
Yep, which we are down here in Florida right now because we're celebrating Christian's birthday. And we came to one of our most favorite spots that we get to go to.
So we wanted to bring you guys here actually to the spot where we got married.
Yep. It's
3 years ago almost.
Yeah, it's exactly where we got married, but it's also this area is where we went on our first date and where I proposed. I proposed right over there.
So since we're here, we actually want to answer some questions around our wedding. What we loved, what we may wish we would have done differently. So those of you that are looking to get married or are engaged can get some insight. Let's go. Question number 1.
All right, question number 1. What was the favorite thing from our wedding day?
You go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
okay.
answer it.
So like moment or just all around? Because there was, I mean, of course, favorite moment was you walking down the aisle. There, I gotta go with that, of course. But then there was like fun moments throughout it, and I remember there was kind of like, I think during your wedding, there's that like uneasy, you're nervous, but you've got a lot going on. You're feeling like, hey, how do I figure this out with everyone here? And there was a great comedic relief that happened that, I mean, I'll remember this till the day I die. Well, it's not my favorite, but it's like, it's the thing I'll remember till the day I die that, really helped our wedding. Us all relax and just enjoy the process is where we were doing family photos. My oldest nephew, he ended up falling into a pool, like full suit on, he was the
ring bearer.
He was the ring bearer, and he had a full suit on to walk down the ring and everything, and he fell into a pool. And it was so funny because it just like, we all, like, no one panicked, no one freaked out. We all just kind of laughed about it, and just, it kind of gave everyone that, like, peace just kind of to enjoy this whole process. And he was great about it. I think at first he felt really kind of, like, ashamed of it.
At least he was wearing black. You couldn't really tell when you walked down the aisle. It was so
in all of our pictures from our wedding, if you look at his suit, which you probably can't tell, but he is actually soaking wet, which is amazing.
Yeah, they didn't follow the rule where you're not supposed to tell the bride when things go wrong. Someone was like, hey, Asher fell in the pool. And I was like, Asher fell in the pool. Okay, next, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, what was your favorite thing?
I think my favorite thing, like if we're talking an actual thing instead of a moment, would be where we got married. Maybe we can do some B-roll right now, just show you guys a little bit, but this place is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I think a lot of people say the reception is where you go big and it's really glamorous, but I think our ceremony was that for me, and we really didn't need much. We had the ceremony and it felt like it was just Arden and I and John,
my dad,
our officiator, up in this spot, and to me that was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Everything else from the day, from the nerves to all the detail and the planning, it led up to this moment where it was just peace-filled. Question number 2 is, what would you have done differently? I'll go ahead and answer this.
Go ahead first.
I would have hired someone to at least be like an official day-up coordinator. I took on a lot of stuff myself, one, just because we got engaged and married all in a short amount of time, but we're just budget conscious, moving back and forth, trying to figure out so much in a little bit of time. And I genuinely loved everything I got to plan for our wedding. I don't think the details would have changed, but I carried a lot of the to-do list up until the night before our wedding, and it just became so much. But I had a sweet friend named Sammy who came just to do my makeup, and she was like, give me your to-do list. This is the night before our wedding, and she's like, let me take care of this stuff so you don't have to worry about it tomorrow. And for the most part, she took care of everything else that next day. But even if you are someone that wants to plan your own wedding, that wants to save in that area, or just really loves doing events or something like that, go for it, but make sure that week before or the month before you have someone that knows your plans and can execute for you so you can enjoy your wedding week. What about you?
One thing that I could have changed, I think I would have think I would have had more fun with my like groomsmen. I feel like I said, going back to what, the feelings of it, is I feel like I was honestly just a little nervous and like preoccupied in my thinking, rightfully so, that I don't think I was fully present in the moment. But I mean, throughout our whole ceremony, everything, like I did love how much we just honored and brought God into the whole situation. Like even with my dad doing the ceremony, the prayers he prayed, even the time before, I mean, I got to able to, sit down with all my groomsmen and just pray and tell them how much they meant to me, and, the significant role that each one of them had played into my life. But I wish we would have had more fun. Yeah. Like just would have enjoyed
had more time, since it was a destination wedding, kind of.
Yeah, had more time.
Taking time a lot for that.
Yeah, and having those people, I think, you have all those people in one place that all love you and really support you and care about you. And then I think then they kind of go scatter throughout, your world, and you only get to see them like in little branches and not all of them together.
I agree with that.
I mean, so far.
Number 3, what's something that no one told you about your wedding day that you found out day of, good or bad? We'll probably say good, but what would yours be?
I feel like there's always people like told you like your wedding's gonna snap by and it'll be gone. Like it'll be just really fast, and that was very true. I think the thing no one told me about was just like you have so many people that come into town to see you, and you don't get to talk to them like at all, and you feel guilty about it. Like,
but you shouldn't.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel it. But like in the moment, I remember I was like, man, I gotta talk to this person. I gotta talk to, like, they flew out here just for this, and I didn't get to talk to him at all, and I felt guilty about that. But I think I wasn't prepared in that, and I remember
that kind of stole you away a little bit.
Reception. At the reception, because I kept trying to want to go, and like, of course, you want to go talk to people. Yeah, you want to go talk with people, but I think I wasn't prepared for that. When understanding that people are there not to come and like, honestly spend one-on-one time with you, but they're there to come and celebrate the union that you're about to make with your wife. And they're there to support and be a witness and come and gather and honestly to be a part of protecting your marriage in the future. And so that's what I wish someone would have told me and made me understand that. So that way I didn't feel like all this pressure, feel like I was a bad host to people, because the reality of it, all I was there for was just to be the groom. That was it. All right, what about you?
I think mine would be, if you are doing a destination wedding or people or family need to fly in or drive into wherever you are, make sure you know what people are saying in the same city that you are. Because we stayed somewhere, and the next morning went to get coffee. The first thing we did as a married couple. And we walk in, and we saw 3 people from our wedding in that coffee shop, and it's like, they're like, hey,
they're like, how was last night?
And you're like, it's nothing to be embarrassed about, but it's just like, did not think about anyone being here. So it's funny now, like, and the people that we ran into, we even just saw most of them last week, and it's funny. It's not a bad thing, but definitely was not prepared for that.
Okay.
There's so many bugs.
Final question?
We can do final question.
Final question? Okay, so final question. What was something that pleasantly surprised you? Something that you'd not seen in the movies, not known about when you're getting married, and it kind of surprised you about it.
Let me see if I can articulate this well. What surprised me the most is how surreal it all felt, almost in the sense of not, when you see it in the movies or you see people get married, you're like, oh, this must be so special, but you sense it in a way where you feel a part of the big event. But for me, the morning getting ready, it just felt almost like an out-of-body experience in the way of like realizing this huge journey you're about to go on. I think there's like an accumulation to that point that you can't feel the weeks before, the months before, the day of the wedding. You realize like, I'm taking a step, like a big step into the rest of our lives together. Even to the moment of when you're walking down the aisle, when you're saying your vows, when you're looking in each other's eyes, it does feel like there's blinders there. Yeah. That So I was just pleasantly surprised that even in all the preparation and how much you think about that day, there's so many areas that you can't fathom or you can't think about or really know what they'll be like, even though you plan for them. Yeah. I think that's kind of how life is too. In the best moments.
Well, I know for me, I was pleasantly surprised by the scavenger hunt, which, I mean, ladies, this was amazing. Christian Christian went over and above. I mean, it always has in our marriage, but I think it was really cool because she set a precedent on the day. Precedent, not president or president.
Who was president then?
But what?
Who was president then? Trump?
Trump was president.
I put Trump in our
Yeah, she put but she put a really like this expectation and standard of like, hey, this is how I'm wanting to love you and do life with you. Is that when I first got to I had to get ready early. They weren't telling me why. I had to get ready early, and I came here, and she sent me on a scavenger hunt where I went to the coffee shop where we went on our first date, and then did a bunch of other stuff, and then at the end I got a beautiful watch that she gave me, and then the Bible, which is the husband's Bible, which I think is absolutely incredible. It's
I'll
a
link
Bible
something here if you want to learn more about that.
Yeah, it's a Bible where she had written all these notes and letters to her future husband, to me, and so she was giving me that Bible, and so that was something I was like, this is absolutely incredible. And I think it was cool even watching with my brother, because Alec was the one who went through it with me because he was my best man, and my brother being able to see, you know, like this is the wife, like this is his wife, and this is how much she loves him, how much she cares for him. It was just a really cool thing, and just, you know, involving God within that and wrapping around that, I think just really set up our marriage really well. And I still have that Bible, of course. I have it with me down here in Florida right now, and that's the one I've been reading out of. And so it's the one I'll keep reading out of. And the cool thing is there's so many notes within that Bible that I haven't even found them all. Like what I've told myself is I don't want to slip through it and get every single one and just read them. I wanted to discover them when I came upon that chapter, when they're in there. And so throughout my life, hopefully I'll keep discovering notes.
Maybe I'll sneak some more in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay guys, so this is the actual spot where we got married. It is so surreal to be back here almost 3 years later, but that's the spot where we said I do. Arden and I said I do. John was there to officiate, but you know what I mean. So thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you want to see more questions specifically around marriage, engagement, dating, life, relationships, all of that compacted into one, make sure to let us know. But what else do you want to hear about? What else do you want to see from us? Leave a comment below so that we know. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of our moving, all of these talks and everything that we have going on. But love you guys, and we'll see you next time.